All right, guys, you should be watching this video only after you have completely finished the Unit 4 study guide on your own. So now you are checking your answers against mine. All right, so let's look at number 1. Megan bought 9 pounds of bananas. How many grams did she buy? So if we have 1 pound equals 453.6 grams, then what are we going to do to find out how many total grams 9 pounds is? We are going to multiply. So 453.6 times 9 is 6 times 9 is 54. Carry the 5. 5 times 3 is 27. Plus 5 is 32. Carry the 3. 9 times 5 is 45. Plus 3 is 48. Carry the 4. 9 times 4 is 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. And we have one number behind the decimal. So our answer is 4,082 and 4/10 grams. Here we go. All right, number 2, the track team has to practice for their 1,800 meter relay race. The coach wants to know how many feet the team will have to run. Well, 1 foot is 0.3 meters, and we have 1,800 meters. So for every meter, there's going to be several feet, right? So how would we convert this? Would we add, subtract, multiply, or divide? So we are dividing 1,800 meters by 0.3 meters. So I would move this decimal over. I would move this decimal over. I know that 3 goes into 18 6 times with no remainder. So we have to fill in all these zeros. 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 6,000 feet. 6,000 feet. All right. Number 3, which equation is not true given d equals 6? Well, if I solve this equation for d, if I divide both sides by 7, 42 divided by 7 is 6, so A is true. If I want to solve for d, the way I would get rid of positive 84 is to subtract 84 from both sides. So I would find out that D is 6 here as well. So that's true. 42 divided by D. 42 divided by D equals 7. So if I put a 6 right here, if I fill in 6 for D, is this statement true? It is true. And then this one, D, if I substitute D here, 6 for D, and I said 83 minus 6, 13 minus 6 is 7. That's 77. So D is the only one that does not give me a true statement. So D is the correct answer because D does not equal 6 in that one. All right, number 4, look at this equation. Which value for y makes the inequality true? Well, if I want to solve for y, I can divide both sides by 5. When I divide by 5, I get y is greater than or equal to 3. Is 2 greater than or equal to 3? No. Is 2.5 greater than or equal to 3? Nope. Is 3 greater than or equal to 3? Yes, it is. Is 1.6 greater than or equal to 3? No, it's less than. So C is the right answer. Number 5, for some reason, your copy didn't have this on here, so I gave you this on Canvas. Hopefully you guys saw that. So we have 3 is filled in. So I'm looking at a or equal to sign, and then it's going to the left. The arrow is pointing to the left like that. Since it's filled in, that's our sign, and the value of x is any number equal to or less than 3. So we must go with the letter C on number 5. Number 6, a jar at the county fair is filled with jelly beans. If the jar has a total of 980 jelly beans and 15% are purple, how many purple jelly beans are in the jar? So basically we want to know what is 15% of 980. So we are going to multiply. We're going to turn this percent into a decimal, move our decimal 2 places to the left. And we're going to multiply 980 times 0.15. So 5 times 0, 8 times 5 is 40, carry the 4. 4 times 9 is 45, plus 4 is 49. Now I'm going to start with a 0 right there. 1 times 0, 1 times 8, 1 times 9, 0, 0, 17, and 14. And there are 2 numbers past the decimal. So the answer is 147 purple jelly beans. 147 purple jelly beans. Number 7, Bianca answered 50% of the questions on her quiz correctly. If she answered 18 questions correctly, how many total questions were there? All right, so we know that 50% always goes over 100 of what number is 18? 18 is 50% of what number, right? So we could cross multiply. We could do 100 times 18 is 1800 equals 50 times x is 50x. And now to solve for x, we're going to divide both sides by 50. And 1800 divided by 50 is 36. Because isn't 50% of 36 18? That's right. So there were 36 questions on her quiz. All right, number 9, which step should be used to solve the equation? Well, right now 5 is being multiplied by h, right? We're going to do the opposite. What's the opposite of multiplying by 5? Divide each side by 5. That is what we're going to do. Number 9, Katie operates a machine that makes 175 crayons per minute. Use the equation C equals 175T, where C represents the total number of crayons and T represents time, right? So how many crayons are being made? Well, the number of crayons, what, depends on how much time they're using the machine. So C is dependent on, the number of crayons is dependent on time. Time can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 hours, depend, P-E-N, oh my goodness, I can't spell. Depend, P, why can't I write a P? Independent. Oh my goodness. This is like the day before Thanksgiving break and I need a break. So anyway, C, the number of crayons is dependent. Oh, that's exactly what I was trying to write. Time is dependent on crayons. No, as the time increases, the number of crayons decrease. That's not true. It would be increase. As the number of crayons decrease, the time, no, C and D basically says the same thing. Nope. So the only correct statement is the first one. Number 10, define the variable, then write an inequality statement. That means greater than, less than, to represent the following situation. You need to earn at least $65 to purchase a video game. All right, so first it wants us to come up with a variable. So I'm going to say X, and in this situation, I'm going to say X is how much money I need to earn. Because that's what it says, right? You need to earn how much money? At least $65. So that means I want to earn 65 or more. So the amount of money I earn must be greater than or equal to 65. And I have explained what my variable represents, how much money I need to earn. The amount of money I need to earn is got to be equal to 65 or more than 65. That's what at least means. Number 11, write an equation. Now equations have equal signs, right? To represent the following situation. The sum of 34 and D, here's my equal sign, is 60. Anytime I see equals or is, that's my equal sign. The sum of 34 and D is 60. That's my equation. All right. And then number 12, let me get rid of these words. The student council sold raffle tickets as a fundraiser. The table shows the number of raffle tickets and the amount of money collected for 3 of the members. Write an equation for the amount of money, M, here's my amount of money collected, which will be collected in the number of raffle tickets, if the number of raffle tickets are sold. So what am I doing to each of these numbers to get that number? What am I doing to 18 to get 270? What am I doing to 21 to get 315? Well, at first I'm not sure. So I'm going to go ahead and divide 225 by 15. And I got 15. Let me make sure 18 times 15 is 270, and it is, and 21 times 15 is 315. So basically what I'm multiplying the number of tickets by is 15. So the money equals $15 times the number of tickets. That's what this says. The money equals $15 times the number of tickets sold. Okay, so that is my equation. All right, so number 13, I'm going to solve these equations. So letter A, I see J minus 85. The opposite of minus 85 is plus 85. So I'm going to add 85 to both sides of the equal sign. So this is gone. J equals, I'm adding. So 165 plus 85 is 250. 250. All right, letter B, n divided by 7. What is the opposite of divided by 7? It is times 7. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 7. Those cancel. So n is equal to 21 times 7 is 147. So if I divide 147 by 7, do I get 21? Make sure you go back and check these answers. Some of you probably thought the answer was 3 because you're like, oh, division, 7 goes into 21 3 times. But does 3 over 7 equal 21? No, that doesn't even make sense, right? So be careful. And then letter C, we can combine like terms. So 5y plus 6y is equal to 11y equals 55. And then to solve for y, we do the opposite of times 11, which is divided by 11. So 55 divided by 11 is 5. That is the answer. All right, number 14. To ride a roller coaster at Scream and Shout, you have to be at least 48 inches tall. That means 48 inches or taller. Let H represent height in inches. Write an inequality greater than less than to show the possible height someone who can ride the roller coaster. So the height of the person must be at least, that means 48 inches or more than 48 inches. 48 or more. So then when I graph this inequality, I'm going to come to 48. I'm going to fill in my circle because you can be 48 inches tall or any height greater than 48. So I've just graphed my inequality. And then part C says, Julie is 50 inches tall. She says she cannot ride the roller coaster. Is Sam correct? I think that should say Julie. Is Julie correct? No, Julie is not correct. Julie is not correct. Because I would write because 50 is greater than or equal to 48. True. There, I approved my answer. All right. All right, number 15. One bikes at a rate of 2 miles per every 4 minutes. So here's my miles. No, it isn't. Just kidding. Here's my miles. And here's every 4 minutes. So we're going to start with, we're going to do multiples of 4. So 4, and then 4 more minutes would be 8. And then we skipped 12 for whatever reason. The next number they gave us was 16. And then, oh, and they gave me a Y. All right, so I better read this before I start filling in things, because so far I'm wrong. All right, so I know the first one's right. I know 4 minutes 2 miles. So if I half the miles to 1, what would I do to my minutes? I would half it to 2, right? Well, if I increase my minutes, 4 times 4 is 16. If I multiply 2 times 4 here, I'm going to get 8. All right. So basically, can we see the pattern here? Y looks like it's half of X. Isn't 2 half of 4? Isn't 1 half of 2? Isn't 8 half of 16? So 3 is what? 3 is half of, that has to be 6. So you got to make sure your pattern is consistent, right? 2 is half of 4, 1 is half of 2, 8 is half of 16, and 3 is half of 6. So that wants us to graph what we just wrote there. So we're going to think of these as coordinates. So 4 minutes, 2 miles, 2 miles, 4 minutes, 2 miles, 2 minutes, 1 mile. That should be a 1. 16 minutes, 8 miles, and 6 minutes, 3 miles. Yeah. So our minutes are our horizontal axis. So we're going to come up to 4, go right 4 up 2. Here we're going to go right 2 up 1. Here we're going to go right 16 up 8. Where do you see 8? Right there. And then here we're going to do right 6 up 3. All right. And if I connected those, it'd make a straight line. Awesome. I hope you got all those right. And then part C says, Juan said the equation to represent this situation would be y equals 1/4 of x. Is y 1/4 of x? Is 2 1/4 of 4? Is 1 1/4 of 2? No, I disagree. I disagree. Y is actually 1/2 of x, or I could even write 0.5. So if I take all these x values and I multiply them by 1/2, I get y. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, that's it. I hope you did well. So you are going to take your test this week. So good luck to you. And I will check in with you guys later.